And what is up? It is White Trash Donnie with the Sloppy Syndicate show. We have none other than Bryan Frazier in the studio tonight. He is a Nashville independent sensation slash TikTok superstar. I had the privilege of meeting him down at the Key West Singer and Songwriter Festival. So we will bring him on in and have a little bit of fun tonight. And thanks for joining us, folks. And none other than Bryan Frazier.
What's good? White Trash Johnny. How's it
What is
going?
up? It's been a little bit, but it's good to touch base with you again. Ashley says Bryan is the best. Let's go, Bryan.
Thank
So
you,
thank you for
Ashley.
joining us, Ashley. It's a pleasure to have you in the Sloppy Syndicate. So, man, where do we start? So it's been a year since we've kind of talked, chatted, hung out. Like I said, we met each other down at the Singer-Songwriter Festival, AKA / shit show of a time, at least for me. Yeah, it was a
Like
rough week.
spring break, I guess.
Right.
Golf spring break for songwriters. That's where we met, basically.
So it was a great time, but I do not remember the full time. So
Nope. I just remember you had a hat that said something really cool, and I was like, "What up, dude? I like this guy. I like your vibe. You had good
right.
vibes. I'm a vibe guy."
Come hang with me. You seem pretty cool. But yeah, that's how the friendship kind of formed. That's how we met. Just having a good old time down in Key West where he was performing. And wow. So honestly, looking at your what's up, Ellie? Thanks for joining us. So looking at all the music that you have, and again, you're an independent artist, dating back to 2015 when you start with your Commonwealth EP. And I didn't know it went back to 2015. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been listening from 2015 on, and there's not a bad song. So I'm like,
yeah, you went back to the deep cuts. I like
right.
it.
And I was like, and I'm like, even She's Virginia, like She's Virginia is a banger. And I'm
Hell
like,
yeah, dude.
I'm like,
That means a lot because that like those early songs. I mean, I thought I knew what I was doing, and it was a good basis. But like, She's Virginia, I wrote on my back porch, like by myself. Just honestly, like those old songs. Like that was when the bro country from Georgia was really big, and I just kept being like, man, why is there not a song about Virginia? Like I grew up in one of those beautiful areas in the country, and it came out like that, and that means a lot because that I get that requested randomly at shows and stuff, and I'm still amazed that a song that really was not anything to do with Nashville songwriting or anything. It was like myself about my home state hits. So hell yeah.
yeah. So you know, and I don't want to say this the wrong way, but with all the bangers that you've written, why are you not on the stage with Luke Bryan? So that's
Why
what
am I
I'm
not
thinking
famous?
mentally. Right. You know,
Hey
so
man,
that's what
you
I,
tell
you
me.
know, that's
I mean,
the,
honestly, it seems like it takes time. I feel like I'm just hitting
right.
my stride of finding my crew and people that are actually kind of hitting it together. A lot of my friends, I mean, just within the past year, are having success, and we've all been here for 5 to 6 years, and it's just starting to percolate. And it
Right.
does seem crazy, right? I mean, like I'll be honest with you. I moved to town. I had no connections. I'd say the first 2 to 3 years were just me trying to find people and find people I liked writing with. And a lot of people moved to town either with a cousin, an uncle that knows someone in the music industry, or this or that. I kind of had to just fight my way into getting people to listen to me. So I mean, it's been an up and down battle, but I feel like I'm just hitting it. And like you said, the TikTok stuff. Thank God for TikTok because that's been a blessing for independent people like me because not I mean, most of the doors get shut in your face because I mean they're saying your sound's not the sound we want or you're too different and I've just figured out that like I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing because people kind of dig it. It's just be my own. I'm not gonna try to copy something that's happening as Nashville ways. Like oh pop music, let's do this. Oh that. It's like
Right.
just
And
kind of
you're
find my
making,
sound. But yeah, man, it's been a weird ride. It just takes time. I think. Like I said, I've been in it for 7 years, and I feel like I'm just hitting the stride to where it's finally paying off somewhat. It's a
yeah.
long ride.
And nothing to take away, it's been, several years. It's just, the bangers that you put out. It's like, man, like,
I appreciate it.
so, sometimes you see a band or hear a band and you're like, what is going on? So, and then this year you released I Don't Miss You and On the Radio. So, Absolute On the Radio is my top song from you at the moment,
Thank you. Yeah.
followed by Drinks Come True, which you did in
Oh hell yeah.
2021. So, you have a vast collection or a catalog of songs, I would say, dating back from 2015 up to your most recent in 2022.
Hmm.
Um, so what has kind of paved what made you say, all right, I'm a Virginia boy, I'm going to pack up, I'm going to move to Nashville, not knowing any connections, not knowing anything, and stepping into the country music capital of the world, essentially.
So, I mean, I always wanted to be a writer. Like songwriting to me from an early age has been like just the thing. My dad would literally like talk about the songwriters in the linear notes of CDs and just be like, they have it made. They write the songs, and I always just remember him talking about that. So from an early age, like country songwriters, I mean, I was 11 or 12 looking up linear notes of people like of just different songwriters from back in the day that had Kenny Chesney cuts and stuff, and like Scooter Caruso and stuff, and being like, who is this guy? And then deep diving. So originally, I mean, and through college, I played in bands, played open mics, and wrote a little bit, but nothing that crazy. And then eventually, when I graduated college in 2013, I was like, well, either get a real job or just fully dive into this and move to Nashville. And it's just been balls to the walls ever since. Like just writing 4 to 5 days or 4 to 5 days a week, and then just playing shows and just trying to get better at writing every day because it's honestly like just like a skill. You like becoming good at golf or basketball. Like you have to do it every day,
Right.
and you'll continually get better. And like you can write 100 songs a year. There'll probably be 5 or 6 that are good. Like it's that thing. And that's why I moved here to become a songwriter first. I always like I love performing. Performing is so cool. Connecting with people and just hanging out and having a good time is so nice. And like after the shows, hanging out with people that enjoy the same type of music I do is awesome. But the songwriting will always be like the first thing. I can always be a songwriter. That's kind of the thing
And
for
you
me.
you have that personality that stands out, shown on TikTok clearly. Like you just have that personality of, like kind of like, hey, this dude is the shit. He's chill. Let's hang out, kind of dude.
Yeah.
Um, so singing or so writing your own songs and singing. What are some obstacles that you have faced writing your own songs and getting the exposure, singing, getting venues in Nashville, things like that.
Yeah. So like I still don't have a publishing deal. I am in the works of trying to get one, but I haven't had a publishing deal ever in Nashville. And so like I have to book. I am my own publisher. So good and bad. I have to book my rights. I have to catalog them. I have to, I mean, schedule and find people that I think will make me a better writer to co-write with. So that early on is a little difficult because you're just like writing with people that aren't that great. So you're just trying to get through and then find your people that really can vibe with you. And so that's difficult because if you have a publishing deal, they kind of just throw you in rooms with really good people, and you might vibe, you might not, but it's more of a connection based thing.
Right.
And I've had, I mean, nothing against like writing with the bigger writers, but I have seen that like you kind of have better success just writing with your crew and the dudes that you vibe with that are doing something different. And that's kind of become the thing in the past couple years, definitely past 2 years with a couple different friends of mine that we've really just started to hit a stride. That's been the difficult part, but it's also good too because I kind of get to control what my music sounds like,
Right.
and I think it's starting to hit that way because I don't rely really hardcore on like pop trap. I'm a rock based country artist. I love rock music. Country rock is what I would say my avenue is, and there's no one to have to tell me like, hey, if you want to get on this playlist or you want to do this, you want to do that, you got to put these tracks, you got to do that. And nothing against people that have like pop based stuff. There's great music in the pop country world, just like there's crappy music in the rock country world, and there's good music is good music, but I just really like live instruments and stuff, and I'm glad I kind of can keep that creative side to myself, and I hopefully will always be able to because that's why the songs sound the way they do. They're a little different, and I think people kind of notice that it doesn't sound like everything else out
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. Do you have your special twang to it, per se? So coming from Virginia, I'm assuming small town Virginia, stepping foot in Nashville, what was your first thought stepping on Broadway, looking at down the road with all the lights and all the activity and everything? Me, I probably would have been a little intimidated. So what were your feelings um, walking into Nashville for the first time and
Yeah,
and
like
just
like I said, I moved here was I guess the end of 2000. 2014. I think November 22nd, 2014. I remember it. It was like right before, week before Thanksgiving. But I just remember the first couple of months being like, before I met anybody, I was living in an apartment by myself. Don't have anything going on really musically, and I'm just hanging out in bars. And I remember like just staring and being like, "What am I doing here? Like, is this the right decision?" You kind of make. I remember someone buying me a shot because they said I looked sad. This girl's like, "You look sad. You need a shot." And I always remember like that's the Nashville way, like people just being nice.
Right.
But kind of just second guessing, and then finally, I met like one of my best friends at this whiskey. We were at a whiskey jam way back in the day, like OG whiskey jam when it was only on Mondays. And just a buddy of mine, we started just making fun of something on stage, and I became best friends with this guy named Jordan Hobson, and he's my best man at my wedding, and that kind of took over to where I was able to get a little more settled. But for the first couple months and even the year, it kind of just sucks. You're overwhelmed. Everyone's better than you. Like you think you're great. You are. You're great in your small town, and that's the good thing about Nashville. I think. Like if you want to stay in your hometown and be the big fish in the pond, that's awesome. I don't have anything against it. But like the competition here is just so you're in the major leagues. You get thrown
Right.
into it, and it's
Yep.
just like sink or swim, man. And you can tell now it either kind of get way better because of it. If you hang out with people that are just good, you get better. I did hanging out with friends where I'm just like, damn, this guy shreds. This dude's a way better singer. This that, and it just makes you better. You either kind of I think pack up and move home because you're just like, well, I can't do that. That's too much. Or you
Right.
stay and stick it out and just kind of grind. And that's kind of been the thing. But I wouldn't trade anything for it, man. This is what I do. This is what I'll do forever. You always have people going, so like, you really gonna do this for your whole life? Like, what else would I do? If you are thinking of a plan B that just you're just gonna stop doing music, you should never be in music.
Right.
I'm not in it for the fame or the money. I'm in it for the songs. Like it sounds cliche, but like I could do this if I was dirt poor, living in a trailer in a house. Like I'd still do it. I'd still be making
Hey, don't
music.
make fun of the trailers.
Hey
I'm
man,
white
hey
trash
man,
Tommy living in the trailer.
I'm
Hey,
hanging
hey,
out
come
some
on
good
now.
trailers. Don't mind me. Some double wides, West Virginia, man.
But yeah, so it's over the year, just from last year, you've come just from me noticing, and kind of watching you, you've come leaps and bounds of ahead of some of in my opinion, some of the major artists that are out there, and you're doing your own thing, how you want to do it. And no questions asked. You don't have to answer to anybody. And it's just, I feel it's a matter of time before it hits, especially with the latest two songs that you put out. I Don't Miss You and On the Radio. If you keep making bangers like that, I mean, it's going to happen. So,
We got some songs in the pipeline too. We got two more coming at least, so you'll see. But yeah, thank you, man. I mean, it's kind of honestly, my buddy Trey Lewis literally said he's like, dude, you're a funny guy. You have great songs. He's like, just be yourself, and that kind of unleashed it. Like that's where the TikTok and the stuff. I was like, screw it. I'm gonna be how I would if you were hanging out with me on the back porch.
right.
You're my
And
friend. Let's have a beer, dude. Let's chill. You'll probably like. I want to be the guy that you would want to hang out with because that's me. Now, people see through BS now. It's very easy.
right.
Like
Yeah.
I can tell who's fake on Instagram and that, like in the Nashville scene, very quickly. You're like, all right, I get it. You're just trying to do some act. So
Right. Yeah.
just be real.
I don't like Bryan Frazier very much, but hey, Brian. No, I'm just playing. One of the
I
good
feel
dudes
like
that I got to meet. So, yeah, I'm excited for this year's Singer Songwriter Festival. Um, from what you're saying, the whole town of Nashville is going to be coming down, and I can only imagine how that's going to look compared to last year. So,
you have no idea. You're in for yeah. Start hydrating right now, man. Get your
right,
IVs ready. Like
have it set up the liquid IVs, take
for
lunch
real. I'm
break, and
already
then
let's see. I'm drinking right now. I need it.
liquid IV lunchtime. Go back out. Liquid IV dinner
Whew.
time.
Key blessed, baby. We actually wrote a song the other day. My friend Mark Corey and I, we've been trying to get a legit, non-cliche Key West song that we can play down to all these drunks that are hanging out with us when we're down there. And I think we got one, so I'll have to show it to you, man. You'll enjoy it. Key blessed.
Well, I'm gonna be as sober as possible. So, I mean, whatever that means in Key West, what happens in Key West stays in Key West. So,
Yeah, that's damn
um,
sure.
you know, and coming, not really coming from a background of music, but I was in, band for a little bit. And I can recall my first band teacher, Mr. Pearson, which I got kicked out of band Yeah, so that didn't last very long. But
Mhm.
Mr. Pearson was my band teacher. Do you remember your first band teacher, or who kind of
Yeah, I
taught
was
you
in
the
a
reins?
I was in a middle school percussion ensemble. I didn't learn to play guitar. I taught myself how to play guitar off YouTube when I was like 13 or 14. But I knew how to play drums first. Which oddly, I think it's kind of the Dave Grohl thing where it's better to learn something like that first. But my first teacher was he had sixth grade band. It was like Mr. Richardson, I think. Really young dude. He was like 22 at the time, which seemed like old, but he wasn't. He was like straight out of college, and he was so chill and like the way he taught me kind of resonates. I'll think about him today because he's like, I was always a lot more stringent, like just trying to jam and really hammer stuff, and he's always just like, calm down, be cool, and like it. Literally, something I was doing. I was doing like a demo the other day, and I was just like, chill out your hands, man. And I thought of him. It's funny that you bring that up. I have not thought about him in forever. But yeah, middle school band. That was a trip. I didn't do high school band though. I didn't make it that way. I was chasing women playing guitar.
Yeah,
I got to 10th, 11th grade.
I didn't make it out of middle school band. I got kicked out. So what's up, Shakey's Reviews? Thanks for coming in. I know you are probably heading to work here shortly. So again, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah,
And folks, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to put them in the chat. So
yeah, man.
I've said this story before, but obviously you haven't heard it. So I had a bad habit of chewing gum, and I would always have gum in my mouth for some reason. And I wanted to play drums in middle school. Well, they didn't have any room in the drums, so I had to pick something else. I'm like, well, I really don't want to play anything else, so I got stuck with the trombone. So I was playing the trombone, but I would always have gum in my mouth, and Mr. Pearson would always catch me with the gum, and he would always make me spit it out. And after so many write-ups and so many times being called out, his last straw, and the day I got kicked out of band, he made me put my trombone down, take the gum out of my mouth, stick it on my nose, drew a circle on the chalkboard in front of the whole class, and I had to stand there the remainder of the class with my nose, with the gum on my nose and my nose on the chalkboard. And then after that, I was kicked out. And of course, my mom's like, well, you got what you deserved. He told you how many times not to chew gum. So yeah,
Damn.
that was the end of my music
That's
career
some
there.
like old school punishment from like schooling where you're just like, damn, they really just humiliated the kid. Damn,
Right.
dude. Damn, Donnie.
I mean, and you didn't even like, you just kicked me out. You made me do that, then kicked me
Yeah,
out. Like
dude.
you should have just kicked me out.
Tell me to leave the room, I'll never come back, bro. You're like, and that's, I mean, trombone wasn't going to get you anywhere. I think you ended up where
Right.
you needed to be.
Yeah.
That's probably for the better.
I was like, I remember I was like, trombone, really? Like, I don't want to play any of this. I want to play drums. I want to play
Horses. Yeah,
something
man.
cool.
Yeah, dude, yeah. You can't start a band with a
I
trombone.
mean, at least I can get the flute, or I mean, I guess the trombone is a little bit better than some of the alternatives, but yeah.
It's rough. That's rough.
Um, with that being said, what are some of your upcoming plans this year, other than obviously, we have the Singer Songwriter Festival here in May. Um, any other EPs coming out?
Yeah,
Any?
we're gonna have probably 4 or 5 more songs coming out. I have two getting mixed right now that I'm really pumped about. One's called Damn B&A, and the other one's called Put Me in a Bar. And we're gonna try to hit the road with those. Got a few festivals. I'm playing with my buddy in Wisconsin in August, and then I'll be in Virginia and West Virginia and the North Carolina area kind of all summer, doing some gigs, and then just writing here and playing a lot of shows in town. I always play Live Oak. I feel like they need a bunk bid for me there. I'm just there every Monday or
Right.
Tuesday. So that's kind of the de facto singer songwriter bar where we all get rowdy and have fun. So play that a lot, and yeah, man, just keep writing, putting out music and TikToking, just butt
Right.
rocking on TikTok, man. Just gonna
TikTok king. Yeah.
just hanging out and fucking around on TikTok, man.
Yeah, I'll be up. I'll be on the farm in Virginia. 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks.
You have a farm in Virginia?
Family farm. It's not not
Really? What
not
part of
mine,
Virginia?
but it's about 40 minutes south of Abington.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
I'll
All
be up
right. Yeah.
there doing some stupid videos. Maybe I got a broke hand and a jacked up foot right now because I wrecked the motorcycle. But you
Been
know me,
there.
I'll do some dumb stuff like jump on the back of the bull and see how long I can ride them and end up breaking the other
Dang.
leg or something dumb.
I didn't know you had some Virginia blood in you. All right, yeah, having some land up there. That's about 2.5 hours from where I grew up, but it's very, very similar. So the farming area of that, yeah. Oh yeah,
So typically, like we'll go to Abington, and I like doing, I like thrift shopping and finding like old finds. And Abington
oh
has
yeah.
so many stores of just the
Vintage
old
stuff.
school vintage stuff. And me, it's just so peaceful up there. You got the little camper out in the way out in the field, and surrounded by cows and mountains, and ride the gator around, and just
Yeah, the
you know
sunsets in Virginia and those mountains, man. That's I mean the literally my phone has my backyard. You can see it kind of like that, but horrible. But it's the Blue Ridge sunsets, man. You can't get any Allegheny Blue Ridge sunsets like that. It's the most peaceful thing in the world. I can only equate it to a Key West sunset. It's like the different version to me. It's
right.
like the opposite, but it's the same. And I love it. I did not know that. That's so awesome. Some
Yeah.
Virginia connections there, brother.
So
That's
I'll be
badass.
up there and
Yeah,
have a little fun for about a week, and then balls to the wall when I get back. The 22nd, I have a Escape the Fate concert in Tampa. The Singer Songwriter Festival, the beginning of May, which falls in my birthday, and then the end of May, I'll be at Welcome to Rockville, which is a 4-day rock festival in Daytona. So
yeah.
yeah, I got a busy month and a half coming
When,
up.
when in May is your birthday?
The 7th.
Mine is 11th. I'm May 11th.
Okay,
That's kind of
all right,
crazy, also, dude. We're just
all right.
learning that. Yeah, very close.
So birthday shots it is at Singer
Hell yeah,
Songwriter
dude.
Festival.
So you a lot of rock festivals coming up. That's what I want to somehow. I know this is batshit crazy, but be the country guy on some of these rock festivals to where they're like, all right, we'll allow you to do it at some
Well,
point.
it's funny that you speak of that because Jelly Roll is actually playing some of the
Yeah,
larger festivals now, and
it's crazy how it's transformed into this thing. Like again, he's been doing his own thing forever, but he's
right,
the man of Nashville now. And like, yeah, there's not really a genre they can put him in. It's cool. He's able to
right,
play. He's playing the Grand Ole Opry, and then he's playing these festivals. Then he can play rap festivals. So it's like he's got the best of every world.
right.
That's the goal right there. And I've seen that. It's badass. He's also I've met him really quickly once. Really nice guy.
And Big Smo, he was kind of along the same lines. He kind of
Oh,
dropped off. I'm not sure what happened to him, but
mm-hmm.
he was along the same lines of Jelly Roll back in the day. But yeah, it's like that hick hop. That's what they used to
Oh
call it,
yeah,
hick hop. Moonshine Bandits and things like that. So,
huge.
but yeah, Jelly Roll's definitely blown up and making a name for himself. And yeah, his wife, what is her name? Bunny. They call her Bunny. His wife's pretty hot. So yeah,
She's famous on
congratulations
there.
on that, Jelly Roll.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got it. He worked his ass off. I feel like yeah, that dude's been Nashville grinding for all. They talk about the grind. The
Yeah,
dude's
he's
been
been
doing it for
around.
like 20 years. So cool to
Yeah, I
see that
think
kind of type of stuff go down to where they start to get the respect.
yeah, at least 12 years that I know of that I first found out about him. So, but all right, all right, all right. So, what's your go-to drink other than beer?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean the beer's always the thing, but shit, I'd say I'm always a Maker's Mark guy. Jack Daniel's kind of the huge thing here. I like bourbon. I know that's stereotypical of the area we're in here,
Right.
but dude, yeah, good Maker's Mark, and then honestly, it comes in waves with me with like because I got a couple buddies that are cocktail bartenders, so they always are giving me all this crazy shit where I'm just like, what is this? Well, it tastes good. Dude, for a hot minute, we were on those green tea shots hard. That was
Okay.
always the thing. Jameson, I like Jameson. I feel like that's the easy shot always, even though it's cheap. Um, but I'm a huge Maker's Mark guy. Just whiskey, any whiskey thing. It's probably stereotypical of anyone that's in the country rock world, but love some good whiskey, man. Even though,
Way to
yeah,
follow the stereotype. God.
I know,
No,
dude.
right.
They're like real original, Bryan. Like a
But
natty like Jack Daniels. Like
right. Yeah, I can't drink liquor like I used to, so I'm like a three-hitter quitter. Once I get drinking the liquor, I'm out. But give me a
I'm
Bush
with you
Light, I
now.
can
That
last all
yeah.
day.
Yeah, man. Back in the day, I used to finish a bottle. I can't only finish a two, three shots and then got to hang out. But yeah,
Yeah, so
can't do those seltzers though. I'm no seltzer guy.
oh nope, I would totally make fun of you if I see you with a seltzer in Key West. Like
You
I'm
gonna
gonna take a
slap it.
picture and I'm gonna put your pinky up on it, and then I'm gonna smack it out of your
Yeah,
hand.
like
So like,
a
look,
bougie Brian with a like
right?
a high noon. Yeah. Bougie Brian.
But
That's what they call me when I drink seltzers, man.
yeah, so I'm excited, but I'm gonna have to behave a little more this year. I had a couple close calls last year, and I don't think anyone wants to end up in the jail in Key West. So,
No, no. I can imagine the characters. Yeah, you got to do a lot to get arrested in Key West, so that's like the issue right there. If you actually end up in the jail there, you have severely messed up.
right, you've accomplished something that you're not proud of.
Yeah, yeah, that ain't one to write home about. You're like, ooh.
I mean, hey, maybe it's a good spot to write a country song, but
Ain't
yeah,
wrong. Key West jail. That sounds like a weird Johnny Cash, Jimmy Buffett hit
right.
we could write. So there you
Get a uh, yeah. So, man, I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm a little nervous. But it's going to be a damn good time for sure. And I
Oh
think
no, you'll be fine.
Chris Young is. I think he's the big headliner this year. He's playing at the
They got
amphitheater
Chris Young
there.
at the stadium, but the middle of the street concert that you didn't get to see last year, they usually shut down the street, the Vol, right by Sloppy Joe's, and just a big banger bash at the end. It's Riley Green. It's gonna be
Okay.
killer,
All
and
right.
it's nuts. Last time there was Old Dominion played, and it was wild. They were just like people were in the middle of the street passing handles of liquor around. It's just
Oh, nice. All
this
right.
could be an ad for QS Songwriters Festival, basically. That's how
Right.
much I love it. People
So
people come up to me and go, "Man, you really live your best life when you're there." And I'm like, "Yeah, if I have money, I'm gonna own a house there
uh,
one day." I
that's
love
what
that
it's
place.
for, right? We come here for a reason.
Yeah,
And I remember, yeah, I got so sunburnt. We went out on the boat one day, and my damn, obviously I was stupid and didn't put sunscreen on. Like I had like second degree burns on my feet because I was wearing the flip flops. And then stupid us, we went bridge jumping on one of the islands. So we had the big
yeah,
banner from the Key West Fest, and so we're holding that up, and then we're jumping off the bridge, which was a good time. Didn't kill
dang.
ourselves, didn't get hurt, but yeah, I still remember the pain on my shins and my feet from the lack of sunscreen I did put on. So
Yeah, yeah. You're like, I'm getting too old for this shit. Fuck.
pour a little bush light on it, I'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It always it's the cure.
Brian, pee on my leg, take the burn. Works for jellyfish, right? Maybe it'll work for a sunburn.
Like
But
shit.
all right.
Yeah, man. What? Any other questions? What's the good word?
So, what's been your favorite venue that you've played so far?
The this might be stereotypical, but it's always the Bluebird. I've worked my way up to have my own writers rounds there, two different
Okay.
times. That's awesome. And then back home, I've played a couple of DC venues that are pretty cool, like the Birchmere and this other one that are pretty tight in DC area. But the Bluebird Cafe is it's a hole in the wall in a strip mall, and everyone is just staring at you. And if you don't have that great of songs, they're just not going to be like. You are very like it just you can get exposed quickly in that room. That's what I like about it because it just kind of separates people, and it's just so like they're legitimately just like this in front of you while you're playing your songs and they're quiet. So that's probably been the best one I've played up to this date, and it's in Nashville. I've played a lot of random holes in the walls that I love though. I've been in Louisiana and played daiquiri stands. I've been in North Carolina and played trailer bars. I've kind of played it all. That doing the whole thing. But and I love all those. I feel like looking back at some of those memories, those venues are as cool as the Bluebird almost. Now that I think about it, like at the time you're kind of mad and you're like, this is stupid. There's no one here hardly. But I was with my boys and we were having the time of our lives. So like, it's just a kind of I always hear this from other people that are way more successful than me. But like the climb, you didn't know it was fun when you were doing it, but the climb's like why you do it kind of would have been told, and I'm starting to see that already. Even though I'm not successful at all compared to some of these people that are saying that. But
So, have you been able to play Tootsies as of yet?
I don't really Tootsie's wise. Like I played like Dirks Bentley's, the Whiskey Road and the Luke Bryan stuff. I've done the acoustic stuff down there. I don't really venture down there that much. Do all the cover band stuff. I got a few buddies that do. My buddy Stephen
Okay.
Paul, who's a badass. He plays Dirks Bentley's every Friday, and Tuesday, 3 times a week, the main floor. And like I'll pop up with him and stuff. And I played the acoustic rounds at Luke Bryan's, but Broadway's it's a whole nother machine. It's a whole nother animal thing. And I honestly, I've just filled in. I've never done like a full time gig down there, and I respect so much anyone who deals with the craziness because it is like I mean I've always done the cover band stuff and cover songs and breweries and stuff, but it's another level. Just people are so hammered and it's
Right.
wild, and you can make really good money, but like it's just you got to have a crazy mentality. I don't know. I'm not built to do that every week. kind of
Right.
to be down there just swinging. I'd rather just kind of do the writers' rounds and hang out and play our own music. But anyone who does it, man, they deserve more money than they even make because it's become so crazy in the past. Even in, I mean, the pandemic made it wilder. Even like
Yep.
just in
Everyone's getting
the
out and
people
they're
that are
like,
coming
fuck it,
down
let's
there and
go.
stuff. And I kind of played down there through the pandemic. I would come to
Okay.
Florida, the states that were open where we could play shows, but we got stuck in town, and downtown was the only place you could kind of start playing. So we do that. But dude, I've just gotten drunk at Tootsie's. That was where I spent my 21st birthday. I fell down the stairs, didn't even know it. Dangerous. Turns out those stairs, yeah, a lot of stairs. So I've
And
had
it's
good times
three
in that
floors
bar,
of
man.
stairs. So,
Dead
what,
stairs.
what's up, Vic? Thanks for popping in. Folks, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to put them in the chat. Yeah, last time I was up in Nashville, it was for the CMA Fest. How this was 6 years ago, I think.
Oh yeah, you went the
And
whole deal.
man, Tootsie's was so packed. It was like sardines. Like you're literally like trying to
It's
swim through
wild,
the
man.
crowd, and there's so many people in there. You can feel like the floor like just moving up and down. I'm like, yeah, I'm just waiting for this building
But
to
that just
collapse.
collapse. Yeah, it's amazing how they do it. And dude, I remember going. This makes me feel dated in Nashville. I remember going to Tootsie's when the beers were like actually $5 and not 12, so whatever they are now. CMA
And we're
Fest
like,
though, Tootsie's, that is the probably pinnacle of Tootsie's. Like you went like at that is the height right there. Yeah, that's
yeah, and it
crazy.
was kick ass because they had stages like down Broadway. They had stages over by the football stadium. They did a big show in Bridgestone Arena. Like there was stuff everywhere. So you just kind
Yeah,
of like Key West. You make your rounds
same
and
thing. A lot of free shows. It's awesome though. Yeah, they've turned that into something. I played it like 2 years ago. I don't know if I'm gonna play it this year. One of those side stages. I'm gonna try, but it's badass too. That's another thing that Nashville didn't have last year, which sucked. It kind of got canceled for 2 years, I guess, which is wild because the amount of money that thing makes for the city.
oh, for sure,
So
yeah.
it's kind
I
of
mean,
sad to see a lot of businesses kind of get screwed with that one, but that's a whole nother podcast.
right. Yeah, we could talk about that for days, but
Yeah, to do
yeah, I
that
need
one.
to make a trip up there. So maybe
Let me know. Anybody wants to come to Nashville, hit me up. I'll come drink a beer with you. We'll hang out.
so you heard that here first. Bryan, we may be drinking a 12-pack together.
Got a couch.
Whether you like it or not,
Hang out. You pass out on this couch. We're gonna drink a bunch of beer.
All right, so we're 35 minutes in. I know you're a busy man. I will see you in May, beginning of May,
All right,
at
brother.
the
Hell yeah.
Singer-Songwriter Festival. So for the fans listening, where can we find information or where can we find Bryan Frazier and his music or merch?
Yes, so I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, like everybody is. Just type in Bryan Frazier, Bryan with a Y, Frazier with a Z. That whole thing. Going to be keep releasing some singles every couple of months, so keep posting on that. Please follow me on TikTok. We're almost 20,000 followers. If you like all these
TikTok King
shenanigans,
right here. Like if you want
hit
some
me up.
TikTok, there we
Please
go.
do it. Look at all these videos for all the stuff I can't post on Facebook because my grandma will get mad at me. Thing I like about TikTok. So find me on there and BryanFrazier.com. It'll have all the shows and stuff and kind of all the stuff. If I'm new to you, check me out, man. Would love to have another fan. Just come hang out with me, chill out. But I'm everywhere. Bryan Frazier Music. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check out his newest releases. I Don't Miss You and On the Radio. Definitely two bangers. Now, on your website, do you have any merch, shirts, CDs, vinyls, anything like that?
I do. I got CDs I need to get rid of because I bought a bunch of them when the pandemic, about a month before the pandemic started. So please buy them for $10. I'll sign it for you. And I got a ton of koozies and a couple T-shirts. It's got kind of the Bryan Frazier logo with the mountains in the background. And if you buy anything, you get a free sticker. So check it out. Check the merch store out on BryanFrazier.com. I would love to hook y'all up with a beer koozie.
And that helps the artists out more than you know, because Spotify, Apple Music, they're making pennies on a dollar. So the real support comes from buying the CDs, vinyls, albums, merch, anything they really have to offer. So after the show, I'm going to go pick up some merch just to support you. And I will see you in Key West here soon. Any final words for the fans before we head out?
No, check me out. It was nice hanging with you, Donnie. White Trash Donnie, you're the best. This has been fun as hell. Yeah, it's been good. Just check out my new single, I Don't Miss You. Jam out. Send me a video of it. You
Awesome.
jamming and we'll get down. But I will see you in Key Bless, baby. Like,
Absolutely. And folks, thanks for joining the Sloppy Syndicate. And remember, keep it sloppy, and we will see you next time.